Right across Australia, there are thousands of kilometres of abandoned, disused and preserved railways. Today we're going to look at just one of these, the rail line to Victor Harbor in South Australia, about 70 kilometres south of Adelaide. We'll start our journey at Mount Barker in the Adelaide Hills, head down a branch line to Milang, which I mispronounce about 20 times, and finally onto Goolwa and Victor Harbor. So please sit back, relax and enjoy. Good morning. I'm in a place that I'm not normally found, which is in a car. So I'm in a very bright yellow car. I've never driven a yellow car before. Also in an MG car, which I've also never driven before, so this will be exciting. I've spent about 10 minutes trying to work out how to adjust the side mirrors, which I still haven't quite figured out, but I will get there eventually. Hello again. Just arrived at Mount Barker. So I'm going to see if I can find the old station and have a look around Mount Barker. Yeah, and we'll find out what we can see. Welcome to Mount Barker railway station. Unfortunately, you can't catch a normal passenger train from here anymore, but as you can see, the station is still very much here and in really good condition. And that's because the Steam Ranger Heritage Railway run trains along here and are apparently also responsible for maintaining the track. But it's a very nice station. They've got a lot of the original signs around. There's an old water tower. There's some other cool stuff lying around. So if you're ever in Mount Barker or in the area, definitely come and check this place out. It's really nice and you can just come and walk on the platform even if trains aren't running. Just arrived in Strathalbyn, which is about a 20-minute drive south of Mount Barker. Apparently founded in 1839, which is quite old for European Australia. And apparently there's lots of nice old buildings and things to look around. Strathalbyn Station, which back in its day was a junction to the line with Milang. Sorry, reading the sign over there. So there was a branch line that ran up to Milang, and then this was the main line down to Victor Harbor. This closed in 1984. I think that's when the last train ran through here. But yeah, again, beautiful station building here, nice old signals. We've got also what looks like a goods shed or perhaps a locomotive storage shed. We've got some South Australian Railways wagons and other freight stuff going on here in the sidings. And what's very cool, and I didn't know, was that there's a red hen that parked just here. Red hen was the name given to some diesel trains that used to run throughout South Australia and Adelaide. They were rail motors, and they ran, I presume, on lines like this one. We're going to take a little bit of a walk around. If you're a semaphore signal gunzel, you've got really cool stuff like this one. This one just here. Sorry if the sun kind of ruined that shot. Oh, that's cool over there as well. We've got a crane, or a couple of cranes by the look of it, and that's the front of the presumably goods shed. We're now going to head along the branch line actually to Milang, which is on the coast of Lake Alexandrina, which is very exciting if you're a VCE geography student, but we're going to get to that in a second. I'm now in Milang or Milang. I was thinking on my way here I might be not pronouncing it correctly. It could be Milang or Milang. I have absolutely no idea. Someone will correct me if they're watching. The other thing about Milang is that it's on the shores of Lake Alexandrina, which is this part of this amazing coastal flat area around the Coorong, the mouth of the Murray River, Goolwa, this whole area. Heaps of birds, lots of really interesting landscape. And as I said before, if you're a VCE geography student, you should be very familiar with this area because I don't know if they still do it, but in VCE geography, you study the Murray River and the salinity and how it kind of works. And this is the end of the Murray River, or the area of the end of the Murray River. But now we're gonna pop out and have a look and see what we can find. This is very cool. Basically, just back from where I parked my car, there is the terminus, it looks like, or the station to Milang, and they've got all these wagons and other train stuff parked here. Train stuff, locomotives, carriages, all that sort of thing. And the tracks are still here with these interesting, I don't know if you can see them, but they're like iron sleevers or steel sleevers. I've never seen those before. It must be a South Australian thing. And we've got what looks like the South Australian Light Railway Centre, which I definitely wasn't expecting just there. But yeah, it's a really, really nice spot. You see, we're right next to the lake. Basically, you've got all these wetlands. There's some holiday cabins, it looks like, or something over there. A walking track along here. Some houses, the shops. There's like 3 shops in the town, and they're like back there. Now I'm on the inland side of the railway station, and it's really, really cute. Look at it. It's this really nice little blue building. I read from the sign it closed actually in 1968, so before the Victor Harbor line closed. This branch line had been shut, but it's very nice. Something else I noticed actually, that one of the passenger carriages has been converted into like an open art studio, or this one was a craft place, I think. And the one I forgot to mention back in Strathalbyn had also been converted. The Red Hen had been converted into a open art studio, so anyone could come in, artists or whomever. And we've just walked out here to the end of this pier or jetty. I can never remember the difference between them. Apparently there is a difference, I just can't remember what it is. And you can see behind us amazing views, Lake Alexandrina, heaps and heaps of birds, and then back there is the Caravan Holiday Park. Right here though, on the jetty itself, now I'm going to walk around here to get a better shot without the sun in your face, is this, looks like a crane, some kind of lifting device. It's apparently listed by the National Trust. It's got the National Trust plaque just on the top of it there, and it looks like this was used, I'm guessing, there's no information here at all, but I'm guessing that this was used to lift crates and other things off the barges and other boats onto presumably some sort of vehicle to take it to the train station to then be carried by rail onto its destination. So it's pretty cool that it is still here. It hasn't been vandalized or anything. It's still in, I don't know, it looks well over 100 years old. It's in very good condition by the look of it. You can see all the old cranks and gears and stuff here. There's this lovely painted box here. I've got no idea what it does. Presumably, oh, it's probably for that light there, because there's a cable running along. So we're going to have a bit more of a look around. There's some wetlands back there we might go look at, and then we'll be on our way on the scenic route towards Goolwa and Victor Harbor. I'm not normally a person to say you must come and see this, or it's a must do or something like that, but I've got to add Murray Mouth to that very, very short list. It's amazing here. You got to see behind me, it's this huge expanse of sand. I'm assuming it's some sort of low tide at the moment, or lowish tide. But just behind me right here is the mouth of the Murray River, the end of the longest river in Australia, which comes all the way from Queensland and comes down here. Technically not Queensland, but the Murray-Darling Basin. If you've done VCE geography, you know what I mean. But basically, Murray-Darling Basin all feeds into this location right here. But yes, as far as my memory serves me correctly, this is only open at certain times of the year because of the silt and other stuff that gets washed up, and the Murray doesn't necessarily always flow out to the sea, and that causes lots of problems because you start to get brackish water because you don't get water inflow and outflow. One of the things here, of course, is that there is heaps and heaps of wildlife, especially birds. I can see on the other side just over there, which is really cool, just behind that barge, some seals. There's about 20 seals. I don't know if they're leopard seals or what kind of seals they are. But there's a whole bunch of them just sitting there, which is awesome. I've never seen seals in the wild before. Just over there, there's a whole flock of pelicans. I've seen some terns fly over. There was an albatross here before. So yeah, there's a whole lot of bird life here, which is really, really nice. If you are a twitcher or a borderline twitcher like me, definitely come down and have a look for that alone. And if you're a geography student, definitely come and look at the Murray Mouth. And even if you're neither of those things, come and have a look down at the beautiful landscape and just the journey of getting here, which is really, really nice. Don't know if you can see behind me, but some guy with his 2 llamas, alpacas, just walked past. You know, as you do. They were very interested in my camera, but there wasn't food, unfortunately, for them. Anyway, we're here in Goolwa. Just behind me is the Goolwa station. Now, I've learned a couple of things while I've been here reading the signs and information boards. This was Australia's first public railway, as well as the first iron track railway, which is pretty cool. I didn't know either of those things. We're going to actually hang around here for about 10 minutes or so, because I've just checked the timetable and the last train of the day should be arriving here in about 10-15 minutes. So we're going to hang around and get some good quality GUNZELS shots of, you know, the train arriving in. And in the meantime, we're going to have a bit of a poke around the station and see what we can find. So they've done some really cool stuff here at this station. They've converted some of the buildings into other uses. There's a craft shop further down the platform. There's some what looks like a small little succulent plant shop, which is pretty good. $5 for one of those massive succulents. But there is a nice old post box here, as there have been at most of the stations. A nice sign, which is always good to see. And the main entrance and exit is over there, as well as the ticket office for Steam Ranger. So like I said, we're going to hang around and see the train hopefully arrive in. Well, that was a very well-timed trip. I wasn't actually planning that at all, so that was a pure coincidence. But that was very cool. We got to see a red hen come in moving. I've never seen one moving before. So now I'm going to just quickly drive down to Victor Harbor before the sun sets too much and see if we can find the Victor Harbor station, the terminating station on this semi-disused railway line. So we're finally here at the end of the line at Victor Harbor. Just behind me, something I wasn't expecting to find as well, some old railway gates. So instead of boom gates, they do it the old-fashioned way, which is basically have these big swing gates that come in and out, depending on whether the train's there or not. There used to be many, many more of them, but there are fewer and fewer nowadays. So we're just walking up now towards the main railway station building. They've done this new plaza here, which is very nice. They've got all the stations marked here on the ground, which is pretty cool. And just here behind me is the actual main station. We're going to see if we can get on the platform. I don't know if we can, because it looks pretty shut, but we'll see if we can find a way in legally, of course. So once again, a massive thank you to Steam Ranger for keeping all the stations open even when there are no trains running. Sometimes with these heritage railways, they do close off everything when there's nothing operating, which makes it kind of annoying because you can't actually get on the platforms and look around. But here they have left everything open, which is great, obviously, other than the actual building, of course, but that's totally understandable. As you can see, we've got a very nice wide platform here. They've got some goods shed maybe at the end there, and that's the that's the terminus just over there, the end of the track. Amongst those pine trees. Back this way is towards Goolwa and Mount Barker, where we've come from. It's a very nice station. I think this is probably my favourite station building of them all. We've got this nice awning, got these lovely old signs here, nice trees and plants, benches, all very nice. But yeah, it's all been very well restored and obviously well maintained too, so it's always good to see. So I suppose that's the end. Thank you for following me on this slightly impromptu journey of following this railway. As I said, Steam Ranger still do operate a lot of trains along here at various times of the day, mainly during school holidays and summer, but also even during the off season like now, which is great. The Cockle train's the main one, which runs between here and Victor Harbor and Goolwa. But yeah, please come on down and have a look at this stuff, and if you can catch a train and support this fantastic heritage railway, which is doing amazing things by the look of it down here. This is a very extensive railway, and they've obviously got a lot of stuff to maintain and operate, so I'm assuming any support is greatly appreciated by them. So thank you again, and see you next time.